Resident Evil 4.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Resident Evil 4 professional no damage run. This is Chapter 5 4, Part 2. This is the hardest, worst, most nightmarish part of this entire run. On normal, this is a joke. This is a section you will never remember. On professional, this is a section you will never forget. It is all of the mechanics that work against Leon in one place with no checkpoint and no way to exploit checkpoints. So all of this has to be done on a single attempt, which is very tricky because not only do you have zombies that are spawning constantly, but you have 3 mounted gunners and another one who turns up later who have the ability to hit you through geometry because the hit detection is horrendous, and they also have the ability to take sniper rifle shots to the face because the hit detection's terrible on them. And this all culminates in a nightmare moment of you have to take out these gunners, you have to push these invisible tripwires to make the chopper help you, and to do it you have to put yourself in suicidal positions. And you have to be quick as well, which is tricky to do on arcade controls. And the worst part is, everything on the right hand side is to your benefit, because that's the side you aim on. But on this game, this was before you could swap shoulders, so everything that's to the left of you is a massive blind spot and a weakness to Leon, and you have to use and approach things from the left sometimes. And this is a fantastic example of just feeling like you're blind and that there's nothing you can do. So every time you take out a turret, or every time the chopper takes out a turret, I believe more enemies spawn, it triggers another wave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to funnel them all to this ladder, and I'm going to kill them as they rise up this ladder. Once I feel it's clear, we're going to push forward, and we're going to do whatever we can to get to the next turret. It's the thing of nightmares, it truly is. And at any moment you can get clipped because the bullets go through geometry at times. You get hit by stuff that you just don't feel like you should be hit from. And then there's these terrifying moments of, is it clear? Is everybody done? Will I move forward and somebody climb up behind me and smack me? So there's these tentative moments of baiting it, waiting. And as much as I'd love to speed this stuff up, it's important because it's what needs to be done to follow this strategy. And I really should have watched other runs after I recorded this to see what people do, because no doubt there's a pattern through this maybe that, you know, players much more patient and much more skilled than myself found that works flawlessly. But I just had to struggle, and this is pretty much it. Just waiting, more waiting, guys shooting, and then eventually we decide to carry on with it. So, as you can see, there's a dude over there. That sounds like somebody threw dynamite. Somebody did throw dynamite. That's nerve-wracking. So what I want to do, I think, is I'm trying to line up a shot, but I'm afraid now because there's a random enemy knocking about throwing bombs. So you'll notice I'm watching, but I've got my back against the ladder, so if anybody drops down, they don't sneak up on me. Oh, this is so bad, because when you get those turrets at the top part, you have to go and get the guys on the ground, and if the grenade mechanic was a little bit more user-friendly, you could just, you know, throw a grenade, do it perfectly, but I can't. I'm really bad with the grenades, so I just have to trial and error it and waste grenades, unfortunately. But there's a ladder over there, and the thing with that ladder, the reason why I'm not rushing it, is when you get up there and you're at that corrugated fence area, I've got shot in cover. I don't really know why, I just really don't like this section, and it leads to incredibly tentative play like what you're watching right now. So I'm going to try here to do a bit of a Zeus grenade. It didn't work. But I'm going to try again because I've got grenades, and I know after this fight that all of this... Do you see that just then? That was bullet impacts at an angle and on a piece of geometry that turret physically cannot see. And that could have hit me. Which is what doesn't make any sense, because, oh, this is just not fun. This is so scary and horrible. But I need to shoot this guy because he's being a dick, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. Oh no, I'm going to try another grenade. Or am I? Ah, am I going to check to see if anyone... so, I think I'm checking to see if anyone's on the other turret. Then I'm going to throw a grenade. But this doesn't work, this. I believe I get cock-blocked by geometry. Because I aimed the laser up to see if I would hit that panel. But when I do the same with the grenade, I think it does. Or maybe not. I actually threw it up, it just didn't do what I wanted it to. But I'm sure that there's probably a way of doing this with grenades. Some really good grenade spots that people have figured out. But as it stands, throwing grenades on this game is a skill I do not possess. It's a skill you don't really get that much time to practice because you don't get that many grenades. And there's always that trepidation over wasting them. Oh, there you go. Nice, fantastic piece of clipping there. Completely protecting that dude. But shotgun on, we're going to run for that ladder. And as soon as I hit the animation, I know I'm safe, because I don't think you take damage in the animations. But as soon as we're up here, I'm officially quite afraid, because he has a rocket launcher, which is not fun. And at any point here, the guy on the other turret can hit you. It just seems to be completely random. And I'm praying that I've triggered an extra spawn, or I've pushed this sequence along. Because as it stands, you know, what the hell am I doing? What the hell can you do, except for push forward and get hit by something that you really feel like you shouldn't? It's one of those moments where this is why I don't do no damage stuff, because certain games just aren't designed that way, and it leads to sequences that just are no fun. And I have been hit where I'm stood right here, just randomly hit by machine gun fire, because why not? But the thing to bear in mind through all of this is it's completely luck-based. You might not ever have a problem here. You might get through this super quickly. But the one time you don't, you'll understand the pain in the ass that this part can be. And I do apologise, it's not the most interesting thing to watch, but you're watching this battle that's going on in my mind of decision-making. There's the prospect of I need to push forward to hit some kind of tripwire or deal with this guy, but every step I take towards that goal is a step that could involve me getting hit and wasting all the progress. It's not a fun place to be. So I put the TMP on, I shoot that. You know, you never know, it might have done something. I'm like, come on, Chopper Pilot, help me out. If I could change aspects of this game, I think that's what I would change. I would make this the exact same as it is on normal, because I don't think this is adding any kind of difficulty. It's just turning a section that was more spectacle than anything else into, here are a bunch of things that Resident Evil 4 does not do so well. But here we go, this is it, all glory. Can't see him, run away, shit, don't get shot. Drop down. Panic, get over here, because I have this impression that I stand a better chance of hitting him from this position, because I couldn't see him through the scope then and I panicked, and boom! Mr. Chopper Pilot helps us out finally. I don't know why, I don't know what triggered that or how to replicate it, but that's a good thing. So now, I believe the only one left is the one on the ground, which I'm trying to manipulate the camera to show you. It's just there. You see that pillar? He's behind that pillar, where that doorway is. So I'm thinking to myself, I could probably chuck a grenade here. I could probably get a really good grenade and deal with this dude. But this is the biggest culprit for getting hit through geometry for me. This guy's hit me more than those other two. Which is why you're going to watch me be quite tentative again. And at all times, you need to be aware that spawns happen here from the top left and the top right. Right now, I think we've killed enough, so that's not a problem. But just never let your guard down. So there was a seemingly decent grenade throw, but apparently it was nowhere near. So here we'll try another one. Are we too far away? That hit his front guard bit, so a little bit more distance. I'm so nervous right now. You can tell because I'm clipping on the fucking geometry, that's how nervous I am. So a little bit closer. There's a throw. Did I get him? I think that got him. I wish I'd have done that the first time, but this is all... You're watching this, it's Oh no, someone's still shooting. It maybe knocked him off and he got back up, perhaps. But this is all on the spot, guys. No plan here, just how the hell do I do this section? And that's what's frustrating, because all the other sections of this guide, or this run, because it's not really a guide, I've had a plan. It might not have looked like it at the time, but I had a plan and I knew what I was doing. This part here, there was no plan. It was, how do I do this? Why is it like this? There we go, we got him. Music's still going, so I'm still kind of nervous. But I'm going to go up the steps just to be sure, make sure no one's on that turret, and then I'm going to run for that door. I'm not even going to pick up the stuff, I'm just going to get rid of it. Because if I can hit that door, all of this is behind me and I never have to do this bullshit ever again. So you'll notice I'm expecting another spawn. I get this feeling like when he goes, it's going to be the last barrage of enemies. And then the music stops. It's not completely stopped, but it's stopped enough to tell me it might be time to push forward. That right there tells me I'm wrong. So I go back into position. Like, where is this guy? And you might be thinking, well, Chris, just go out and it's probably one dude, just go and finish him off. But what if he's on a turret? All of this, all 11 minutes of this terrifying experience is for naught, and I've got to do it all again. Or what if I drop down the ladder and he's at the bottom of it and he swings as I'm recovering? Like, nowhere to run, instant hit. It's just not worth it. And I don't know where... Oh, here he is. This is the guy who's terrifying us, and there he goes. So, hopefully, there it is. Oh, maybe not. Because if you remember, it went quiet and it still had a dude. And is... Well, that's the sound of another guy? But show of hands right now. The people who were still here at 12 minutes are obviously the ones who are invested in this, who like Resident Evil 4, or who just like, you know, my runs and things, my guides. Having watched this, knowing your skill level and your experience here, what would you do to make this a more interesting sequence? You know, I'm not asking for people to say, you know, oh, Chris, you were way too slow, you were shit, you should have done this, this, and this. That's not what I'm asking for, guys. How would you change this particular sequence to make it more enjoyable on the player? On professional. On normal, this part is fine. On professional, it's a completely different animal. Having watched it, everybody now has the criteria to see what this can be like when you don't know what you're doing and when you're trying to get through it without being hit. So, that is really scary. But the good thing is, I've already killed all the spawns, so this is completely inconsequential because we've already killed everything. So all I need to do now is hit the two levers and hit the door. Nothing to worry about, but still be on edge just in case, because the spawns, I have no idea what they are or where they are. They just are. But I'd just be interesting to see, you know, what you think they could have done to maybe make this more fun. Because I think the idea of, you know, taking out turret embankments is kind of played out, but at the same time you haven't done anything like this in Resident Evil 4. So do you think it's just the final cock block before a bunch of enemy gauntlets and then Sadler? Because everything so far has served some kind of purpose to mix up gameplay, for better or for worse. I know there are people who think that this game is really repetitive and uninspired, but you know, I disagree with that immensely. But this section here, it just seems like they watched the beach section on the original Call of Duty and they thought, well, we'll throw that in. Which, now I think about it, that can't be true because this probably came out before that other game. I don't know my dates on the original Call of Duty. It's probably close, but I keep thinking Jurassic Park was made in 1997, which is clearly not true because every single piece of information we have on this film says it's, what, 93? But your memory does that, it twists it. You think it was just a few years back, and then you realise, Jesus Christ, that was then? Wow. But that's the end of my most hated part of the run. How would you fix that? Thank you very much for watching.